Welcome back, everybody, to Rimworld. I apologize about the delay on today's video. I've been busy setting up the new CK2 series that just came out, so if you're interested in that, go take a look. But if not, I apologize. We should be back on regular schedule before tomorrow. So then, I've received so much feedback yesterday that I've sort of gone through all the comment section, gone through all of the stuff on Discord. It was a massive amount compared to usual. Written it all up into a little list so that we can cover sort of over the course of today. We've got some big jobs coming up here. Unfortunately, a lot of the feedback has all been very similar, but unfortunately quite large undertakings as well. So we're going to see what we can crack out. See if we can get the space up to a decent standard. Oh, it's done. I don't think I even pointed that out yesterday, did I? Charge railgun, look at that. Wow. It's got component durability, but it does not have... Wait, is that the same as the component durability added by Fluffy's breakdowns, or is that going to be a separate system? Is this basically just we have to fill it with components rather than steel? That would make a lot more sense, you know, like that uses components as ammo, inverted commas. Anyway, let's get on with things then. So a lot of you seem very, very happy, first and foremost, about the 3-day change, but the slightly harder raid. It was pointed out quite well on Discord that we've gone from having, you know, these constant interrupting little raids to a big raid, lots of progress, but also losing a few bots per raid because the rocket launchers. Got some plans to get around that this time. Oh my god, the speed at which this research is going, I just can't get my head around it. So then, let's start with kind of the obvious one here. We need to expand the size of this kill box. We've got these massive turrets, say for example the charge railgun, which can't take advantage of the range at all. We can install it all the way back. The problem with that is, of course, there's a chance that we'll hit the embrages or the sandbag rather than hit enemies. So we need to really readjust this actual kill box area rather than the maze this time around. So I'm thinking, why don't we go kind of a bit nuts with it? So we've already got this area sort of planned out. I'm thinking, why don't we bring it all the way back to say here. Oh, the issue is then we can build around. Why not just build around the geothermal generator and have the killbots to that size instead? Because our weapons also have a pretty good range to it. Say, for example, Smeltbot's LMG rifle. Just to line him up here very briefly to elucidate this a little bit better. If we get him into position, I mean, look at the effective range that we're missing out there with his LMG. If we take him all the way back to there, we can, in theory, still hit... Well, we can't quite just hit them as they come through, but there's no reason we couldn't put him in this position, for example. And then the entire killbox is going to be covered by this range, rather than a lot of it being cut off right now. All of that southern section, specifically. So, maybe not that big an expansion. That might be a little bit too generous, but making it much, much larger is going to be a top priority today. Other top priority today is, undoing all this damage done to these damn plants, is building up the mountain base in the sense that it's a bit more secure. So a lot of you have been pointing out that we need to hurry up with the cooling. Apparently 1 in every 5 raids can be, or once every 5th raid, I should say, has a chance to be an infestation. And right now we've essentially dedicated entirely to this mountain base. We need to get cooling, and simultaneously we need to get enough power to cool everything. So I'm going to be looking at either Rimatomics or Rimmerfella. There are a lot of comments saying take a look at Rimmerfella because that might be an earlier way to get into things. The only issue with this is I assume we have to build it all outside, don't we? Or not? Oh, okay, so the oil wells need to be built outside, but that's okay. I'm sure we can manage. Right then, so what we probably want to do is check out how this works. The only reason I wanted to go to Rimatomics first is because, of course, every few days we're getting this major raid, right? I know how Rimatomics works, so I'll be able to spend less time and be able to build a more focused Rimatomics setup than I would be with Rimmerfella. I have no idea where to start with this. I assume we build an oil well, I assume we build some sort of pump, and I assume we pipe the oil into containers, throw it through a chem fuel power plant. Hey, there we go, there's power or something like that. No clue. But we'll try and work it out today. I'll go and look at some guides or something and see if we can use that as a sort of stopgap before we set up something much more major with Rimatomics. Along with all those long-term tasks, we do have some short-term tasks as well. Number one, everybody and their mother was pointing out that 5 is a murderous psychopath. Along with great power comes great responsibility, and responsibility for us in this scenario is building this guy a bedroom, making sure he's got massages, basically turning him into the king of our colony, because otherwise he will always, when he has mental breakdowns, is how it was explained to me, so it might be wrong, not sure, he will always go on murderous rampages when he has a mental breakdown. So we need to be very, very careful about managing this guy's mood. Otherwise, there's no reason why he couldn't just go for 0, kill him dead, and then we lose. Then it's game over. So we need to be very, very careful about how we manage this guy, making sure that he is, you know, maybe constantly in his lab, constantly well-fed. Give him a bedroom. That probably wouldn't hurt, because you've got to bear in mind this guy is almost beyond sentient, so we've got to consider him not so much of a regular Rimworld colonist, but even harder than that to manage. So his mood right now also kind of garbage, 46%, just below that minor threshold. Also terrible recreation as well. We might need to build this guy a bedroom, is what I'm getting at. And a lot of people also voice concern by having a giant nuclear reactor immediately parallel to the Killbox. We won't build it there. I think we'll turn that into, like, his bedroom or something like that. Because right now, in fact, should we dig out something next to the lab just to make it even more convenient? Because eventually we're not going to need food as well, don't forget. So why don't we do something like that? Just a small little bedroom for him to live in. I think that's fine. That's more than you deserve at this point, given that no other robots, not even Zero, has a bedroom. I'm going to quickly, we'll open up a door there then. People were also saying that the Tier 5 android could equip these big guns. Now, I didn't think that was no. Apparently not. We cannot equip that, cannot equip it. I think this is actually for the larger bots. So there are larger, specifically just combat-orientated, basically battle mechs, that I think you call them with an orbital grenade. Don't remember. I haven't really touched too much on the androids mod previously, besides like the animals, weirdly enough. So these are for an even bigger android, but again, it's just combat-focused. So whereas 5 right now is kind of a great all-rounder, incredibly good at crafting, incredibly good at research, etc., in terms of combat, I am going to keep him off the front lines. Even if you could equip these, I think I would still keep him off the front lines. But that's for an even bigger robot. So I'm looking forward to actually when we get one of those. I don't know if they become like a permanent animal, inverted commas, in your colony, or whether or not they are just sort of a temporary thing. But those seem very cool. But it's still a long time before we're going to be able to use them by the looks of it. Also, why have we got no power to half of these turrets? Is the grid out? No, the grid's definitely not out. What's going on there? Oh, these ones are just not powered. Oh, look, the cable's been cut. Right, okay, so, I mean, that tells us everything we need to know, really. We need to add a few more redundancies into the system, especially on this side, so that we don't get shit like this going on in the future. I'm going to directly hook those up like that, then. That should avoid that problem again. Thank you, Builderbot. Very cool. Mending armor rack. Oh, look at that. Produce mending armor racks that repair equipment stored on it. So that'd be very good for our advanced marine helmets, for example, and you know, other such things. Right now, got bigger fish to fry rather than making sure that all of our equipment is tip-top. But say, for example, tattered gear especially, that would be good to put on those armor racks because they will just prefer a non-tattered sort of regular helmet, for example, this guy, over some of these other ones that I force them to wear. So that might be something to bear in mind for the future. We've got 2 hours before the next raid. Do I need to do anything else, or are we set up and ready to go for that? Well, then after that, we can have that big 3-day buffer to focus on our more important tasks. I do kind of want to pull that back a little bit. Only because I feel like we're not getting the most advantage out of it there, are we? I mean, it's minimum range. To be honest, a lot of the enemies are always clustered in this first area here. You know, the fire obviously stopping them all pushing through, obviously much slowed by that swamp there as well. So having its effective range more or less in the zone where the enemy's going to be traveling as well. Bear in mind, they are going to run down here and come back down again. It's rare that they're going to be going into this section. There's nothing over there for them besides death. It should be fine where it is, but obviously it's far from optimal right now, as with most of the base. Okay, there we go. So we've got those redundancy circuits built in. Is that blocked by anything? Oh, it's just low wind power right now. Let's get everyone into position then. Now, I've noticed we've got some other good weapons I need to get our guys equipping, specifically like the charge SMGs. A lot of people asking for some separation in the stockpiles as well. So making sure we've got garbage weapons stockpile, good weapons stockpile. What I'm going to do, because like I've explained before, I'm updating the smelteries depending on what weapons we have a complete excess of. We'll use this as a dumping zone as well, like we have with the mechanoids, for just any guns that we don't want. So I'll make that adjustment after this raid is over, so hopefully we can get a good feeling for what it is. Wave 97. So that can't be mechanoids then. I don't believe it can be insects either. Obviously, if that's 1 in every 5 raids, you'd assume not. Okay, defensive positions then, everyone. Let's see what we can do here. And I also need to set up a couple of defensive positions for these new guys that we built yesterday. Pirates from the deep shooters. They're always the hardest. Okay, here we go. What are we up against then? 42 of them. Doomsday rocket launchers are included. People have been pointing out the best thing to do about the Doomsday rocket launchers, I fully agree here, either A, focus them down and be very careful about things, B, use the mortar, which is kind of hit and miss, no obvious pun intended there, but is not really very reliable at dealing with that. One of the options, and I do kind of like this idea, building a sort of bait bot where we just run him out into the field and try and get them to expend their ammo, because obviously the rocket launchers generally will have some of the longest ranges. In fact, it probably has the longest range out of all of these weapons they bought in. Anti-mech rifles, miniguns, we don't really have to worry about those. Anti-mech rifles are terrible fire rate, and miniguns are obviously inaccurate. I'm thinking we build ourselves just a tier 1 garbage bot, have him run out into the field to bait out that rocket launch, because they also have a pretty high fire rate as well, because obviously they're single use. So it might be the best thing to do. Is there anyone I really feel like sacrificing right now? Everybody has their place. Cleaning bot is obviously going a bit nuts. Plus, everybody's got equipment on them as well. So the last thing we want to do is obviously be throwing away that equipment by sending them out into the field unnecessarily. But for the future, we'll have 5 always churn out a garbage bot that we can throw into the meat grinder. Okay, looks like the last of our guys are going to get into position there, ready for the... There we go. Okay, so everyone's equipped with a decent weapon, charge weapons, miniguns, whatever else. Obviously, he's not on the front lines there. We still don't want Zero to die. What I've done, I thought this was quite sensible as well. I've locked 5 in the lab and put 0 in a different room, because the last thing we want is 5 going on a murderous raid, killing 0, and then causing us to get game over. That wouldn't be very cash money of him. So that's a door between them. If he gets out of hand, I'm fine with 0 gunning him down, because 0 is more important than 5. 5 is great for, obviously, progress and everything, but if 5 dies, we're not going to lose the game. Nano-infused components, what the hell are those? By combining components with, by combining components with materials infused with self-repairing nanobots, we can further increase components' lifespans. Wow. So, I assume those just act as... Actually, I don't even know how that works. I guess maybe it just affects the maintenance time on our gear, right? Because it's not going to affect the recipe. It's not going to say that instead of building turrets out of regular components, you use these nano components or anything like that. Hopefully it just lowers the recharge time. That would be absolutely fantastic, wouldn't it? Okay, guy with the triple rocket launcher, or the Doomsday rocket launcher, I should say, still alive. Now, another bonus to obviously expanding the kill box is we can spread our people out a lot more and not have them so clustered together. That's partly the reason why we're getting so many losses at times. Because we've got, like, say, for example, this corner, we've got 5 people all clustered together within the radius of a single explosion. So that is not too ideal. 29 left. Wow, they actually might start fleeing. We might get lucky here. I'm already hoping the guy with the... Who is the guy with the rocket launcher? Can we ascertain that from this massive people? Almost certainly not. Let's keep... I'm gonna keep a close eye out so we know that who our priority target is here. We're not gonna be able to tell, are we? There we go. Nano-infused components. Hopefully that just increases the amount of time before things break down. There he is. Okay. He's quite close to the front. I can just about see the weapon. Come on, flee. Oh, the barbed wire breaks. Oh, interesting. In hindsight, never mind then. Let's not bother with that. They might be a reason why we're killing so many people off here, but I would rather not have so many replacement barbed wire. Maybe just build it in the first or second rows there, so that it will stop enemies if they do get this far. But after, I think it's a bit nuts having it on every row. There we go. They're going to smash that door and stop us having to rebuild all the doors as well. Wow, that works out so well. Oh, no. What the hell happened there? This is a nice killbox design. I think this is working so well. Look at that. Minimal damage to us. In fact, very little. All we have to rebuild now is granite door, reset all of the traps. The enemies are all bleeding. They're all completely fucked there. Great job. Got a couple of people we can strip. In fact, that barbed wire might have just saved us. It's a lot of steel, though, to commit to the entire kill box, isn't it? So how much are we talking about, like, the first few rows, then? If we were to rebuild what we lost, it would be, I mean, 30, 40, like 100 steel per raid. It's quite expensive, but it seems to have had a massive effect there, too. Insane. Okay, everyone get to work then. That is a very nice little system we've got going on. That's bought us a good few days. So what we could do, let's assume that this is going to be the entrance to our base. Specifically that zone there where we've got the doormat. Obviously, we'll have to move the doormat a little bit there, but we'll say that is going to be the main entrance to the base. What we could do is we could dig quite a sizable line straight down here, and we could have, if we dig all of this out, replace all of the parallel wall with coolers, and then have vents between the rooms and use the stockpile as our massive sort of, our massive refrigerator for the entire base, basically, to shut down any potential insect raids. That way, it's also fairly defensible as well, in that they still have to get past Killbox, get through this little zone here with whatever we do with it, and then... I think that's safe. I'm not entirely sure. Apparently, someone's got into combat there. I guess one of the enemies must have stood back up, perhaps. Yeah, Marin's just escaped. Don't worry about it. It's just one person. Another mod that we'll have to consider looking at soon when we've got the power dealt with is GlitterNet, because the amount of stuff that 5 alone has researched is absolutely ludicrous. I mean, look at that. I mean, it's got a lot to it, and it would make a lot of sense that it's our Tier 5 android learning how to build this massive network of machines, but it's some mod I've never touched before, so I have no idea where to start with that. I imagine there's a lot of optimization to do with that as well. We'll worry about that after we've dealt with the power. That's still our top concern. So, 2.7 days left. Everything's safe. We're obviously going to take not much time to rebuild here. Want to wait for all of the traps, barbed wire, whatever to be set back up before we focus on expansion. So, where can we relocate a lot of this stuff to that will allow us to... Oh, man, you can't reinstall solar panels. That sucks. Obviously, we want to leave that there. We have to leave that geothermal generator there. So I'm thinking, let's move our solar panels to start off with, because we already have enough power issues. I don't want to make it worse by just straight up removing them or anything like that. This is all artificially roofed over, isn't it? Granted, it's our corpse cave, so we do kind of need it to be like that. Can you put them out at sea and build a platform under them? You can. Oh. So it's 156 wood per... I mean, we could definitely build a couple. We could build almost 4 if we do that. Okay, that's fine. I'm going to do that. and then just start building solar panels out at sea. That way they're also very well defended. You know, enemies have got to either drop pod on the beach or get through, which would suck massively, by the way, or get all the way through our crematorium there, through our kitchen, whatever, to actually get out to the beach. And then if we also remove these at the same time, this is a bit risky, but, I mean, we've got the maximum amount of time to get things done here. So I'm going to deal with the power to start off with, because that's an essential system, I'd say. Oh my god, thank you. This is the research I've been asking for since basically the start of the playthrough. Android upgrade station. So as it says there, construct Android upgrade stations and upgrade cabinets, which improve Android operation outcomes. How long has it taken? We've been playing for 200 days, and we finally unlocked hospital beds only through the power of this ridiculously OP Android. That's so good. My lord, it's taken way, way too long. But you can sort of see how this Builderbot, come on. You can sort of see how this mod has a bit of duality to it, and that there are some of the easier bits to it, obviously Android mood management, but if you don't hit the research you need, if we hadn't have hit some of these turrets, for example, some of the traps or some of the security we got early on, we'd have been screwed. You know, there's a big potential for having come this far without hitting a multi-analyzer, getting absolutely everything else in the meantime, because we've got such a massive mod pack. Man, I can't believe that's taken so long, but finally we've done it. So we can really start thinking about upgrading our androids as well if we feel it's necessary. What upgrades do we have? Oh, we do have some new ones there as well. Look at that. So steel plating, obviously, we knew about the platings before. We've got the advanced nano kit, very cool. So that's like your tier 3 medicine in the... I don't know if you really count it as glitter world medicine. I guess so. I don't see why not. Yeah, it seems very, very cheap to compare it to glitter world medicine, though, given it's, you know, steel, silver, gold, and 2 components. Seems like we've got a load of that lying around. What can we actually build, then? High power leg. Oh, hello. Okay. I think that gives bonuses alongside just being a good replacement. Yeah, look at that. 140% efficiency. Probably not a big enough efficiency jump to worry about churning out, you know, X amount, where X is the legs of the colonists we've got currently. But it is quite nice to have. If we do need to replace legs in the future, I'd definitely be going for these rather than your basic leg replacements. It just seems like a sensible upgrade there. Cybernetic jaws obviously help with... Oh, that's for the dog. Oh, right, okay, fair enough. I was going to say maybe it helps with social or something like that. But nope, that's for our dog. Gyroscopic counterweight. Canine... Oh, so there's actually the animal upgrades as well, like dedicated animal upgrades. Very cool. Okay, case in point right here. Repairbot 2 missing a left arm. Let's build in that upgraded arm replacement. And he's also apparently stoned on smoke. If he's a robot, how does that work? Don't question it. Okay, don't. Just Rimworld things. Okay, so let's go ahead and see what the upgraded... There is an upgraded arm, right? I'm not going completely insane. High power arm. There we are. So 140% efficiency. So if you replace both arms with that, that's a pretty good work speed bonus. But it is quite expensive just to be churning out that many arms. I mean, it's 40 steel, 50 plasteel. How much plasteel have we got? 2,000. To be honest, steel is the lowest out of all those resources, given that we've also got 106 components that I'd be concerned about right now. And given that we live in a mountain, steel's fairly easy to come by. Maybe it wouldn't be a bad idea to churn out those arms for everybody. But maybe just replace them on a... No, even then, you know, we don't want to be fighting raids constantly and having them blown off. Let's just replace them as and when it becomes relevant. I'll churn out a couple, because I imagine there are other people missing arms as well. Wouldn't hurt to have a couple of backup ones, but we'll replace them as they become as it becomes more pertinent. Do you want to get this rock out of the way and speed up everyone's life? Good lord, get out of here. This is unreal. The speed at which he does everything is just completely nuts. Well, there we go. There's our replacement arms built already. God, I love that tier 5 android. He's so... I thought we would have to, like, take him and recruit him or something like that, because he seems very, very powerful considering, but maybe we just got lucky with the event. I'm not entirely sure. There we go. Build complete. Right, so we want to build one of these android upgrade stations as soon as possible then as well. Where is that? I assume it'd be android tiers, right? Android parts workbench upgrade cabinet. This is it, I think. Can used in conjunction with the Android upgrade station or bed. Android upgrade station. We don't have one of those. Is that under furniture? Ah, there we go. So there you go. It's essentially just a regular old hospital bed, I guess. Putting it in here, I think, makes a lot of sense, given that it is a workshop. We're not going to pretend androids are people. They haven't earned that right yet. Maybe 5 has, but everyone else can fuck off. Oh, maybe we can share one upgrade cabinet between... Maybe it's just like a vitals monitor. I'm thinking we can share it between 2 beds. Let's check out the information. Using conjunction with the Android. I assume it'll connect when we've obviously built them. Okay, let's get those put down as soon as possible. Sorry, is... Weird question. Is 5 also good at building? Because the speed at which he does things would... He's not that good, but even with 6 out of 20, he's probably faster than everybody, all of our regular builders. Oh, EMP cannon. Useful throughout the galaxy with its ability to stun mechanoids. That sounds fantastic. Mechanoids always pose a big threat. Obviously, the big guys with the Inferno cannons coming in. That's almost like a consistent rocket launcher. So that's a large concern. Thank you very much for that. And apparently, we've hit a new technology level. Look at that. A researcher just finished a research project which made your colony smarter. We now have access to the spacer level of tech. Very cool. I actually completely forgot that we had that mod. It might explain why we've got some really weird technology kicking around here. Look at that. We're still missing out Go Juice, Work Attire, Crossbow, but we've hit almost everything else. Unreal. That's so much stuff. So now we get access to, I assume, Starflight Basics and obviously up through the neural network. Framework. What is all this stuff? Cybernetic warfare. Cybernetic organism? Create cyborgs and super soldiers with this secret military blue. That sounds completely on brand. We got quite lucky. 5 is just on an insulting spree. We've got to get this bedroom built as soon as possible. I mean, you could argue Killbox, probably a bit more relevant. Yeah, I'll agree with you on that one. Okay, is that definitely connected? Oh no, it looks... No, it only connects to... Actually, if it only connects to adjacent beds, you can sort of see that there. Oh, maybe it has to be near a specific side of the bed? Oh my god, does it have to be near the top of the bed? At which point we can just flip these around, huh? So we flip around like that. That seems to be... Yeah, that seems to be working. Okay, so we've just got to turn it the other way around, and then in theory we've got a bonus there. So who was it missing an arm? It was one of the repair bots, right? Oh, God. I forgot how in bad shape everybody was. So repair bot 2 is missing an arm. I'm going to go through very quickly everybody and just see if anybody needs... Okay, so the chef needs a new leg. We'll worry about that in a second. You need a new foot, which is basically a new leg. This is a lot worse than I thought. So repair bot 2... Oh, my God. Repair bot 4 is also missing an arm. Well, there's no wonder things have taken so long to build. Oh, my God. He just... Wait, he just broke even though he was in blue mood? What? His mood is so high. What? He just murdered Chefbot just for seemingly the fun of it. Oh, god damn. Luckily, it was Chefbot and we don't need food anymore. So he picked a good android to kill off there, given that he's also only wearing plate armor and not marine armor, so he doesn't have to worry about that being tainted. Wow. That is horrible. Oh, I really love it in Rimworld when you build bridges and then it cancels whatever else you've asked them to build over the top. Let's get these put down as well then. How's the grid looking, by the way? Oh, it's draining. Or it's not looking good. Let's put it that way. 18 hours for the next raid. I can't believe that. Again, at least he murdered Chefbot. Thank God we got the research whereby we can plug androids into the grid now to charge them up rather than needing to feed them. That sucks. Android mind implants, though? Can we stop 5 being a complete fucking lunatic? You wanna pack that in, my friend? What have we got? What have we got? Shut down. So, people are asking me to overclock them as well, but I don't believe we can yet. Yeah, nothing at this point. Maybe we need to check this one. Nothing. Yeah, wow. Okay. Also good to know that even when he's in a good mood, he can still end up killing us dead. Fantastic. Create positronic wiring. Gives 35% research speed. We don't need it. We absolutely don't need it. Soldier upgrade gives... Melee cooldown low. Range cooldown and shooting accuracy increases massively. I think that's percentage, isn't it? 0. Oh, actually, it might just be an arbitrary value. I have no idea. Seems good, though. It's not ridiculously expensive. 2 advanced components means we could churn out a few of those. You'd assume it would be a pretty good upgrade if it's taken up 2 advanced components. We've got Blueprint Bank. Gives 40% smoothing speed. Great, just what we wanted. Tricorder, medical operation. It seems quite nice. My God, there is so much to see. Wow. I'll have to take a look through those and sort of see what we're looking for here as well. Unskilled labor plus 150%. My God. I think we need some more nano kits before we can do some of this operation. I'm going to make some basic ones because I've got Zero actually being the surgeon now. Because Zero is insanely good at medical and insanely good at just about everything he does. So I'm actually going to turn him off of... he's good at crafting, he's good at doctor, he's good at surgeon, he's good at just doing anything related to androids, really. Unsurprisingly. So let's churn out some med kits and let's get this other guy built. But I'm trying to get these replacement arms done just as soon as possible. Still can't operate on him. What am I missing here? High power arm left shoulder. High power arm is there. And then we have medicine. Maybe we need more medicine. Maybe it's because we've only got 2 right now. Oh god, the power's out. Yikes. Okay. So in Rimworld, I don't know if you've noticed this. You might have noticed it yourselves. When you put down anything on top of a bridge, you have to then put it down again after the fact. For whatever reason, it doesn't maintain what was on it before. So we've lost a lot of power there because I just simply assumed they would be actually building what I asked them to build. Okay, there we go. When the sun comes back up, we should be fine for a while. Can we now operate on him? Or am I... Still can't do it. Need material. What material do we need? Do we need more medkits? Let me take a look at that. Do repair kit, 1 high-powered arm. Have we not got exactly that? Oh, repair kits. Those are med kits. Sorry, my bad. Okay, we need to get 0 then, or 5, I should say, churning out some of these instead. Repair kits being what you need for operations. That's the difference, I guess, between androids and regular people. Okay, now we can operate on him. Get him up as soon as possible. We've got a lot of work to do. Exotic goods trader. Okay, that could be very nice. And we've got people with apparently nothing to do right now. Now's a good time to start extending the kill box. Now, I'm going to extend it in a way that it does not interrupt the other kill box, so that that's still going to be active. I'm not going to start dismantling these walls yet or anything until we've got a working area. So, I mean, how do we want to do this? How far do I want to expand it by? So our lowest range weapon, I will assume, will be the charged shotgun. There's no worries about that. We can just move them on this side. We need to be very careful that we don't accidentally nerf ourselves massively by those guys turning up with a variety of weapons, assault rifles, sniper rifles, whatever else, and getting the drop on us because we can't fire back. So let's take, we've got a lot of charged SMGs. Let's take that and let's measure the radius of where we might want them to stand, just an area where they can spread out as well. So let's take a look here. See, even that's well within the effective range. Pulling back a couple more blocks. See, that's kind of ideal right there. I think that's probably the best, because that way we've got coverage of the whole kill box until they start leaving it, which is, at that stage, we'll have to obviously readjust our plans somewhat. That works. We can even afford to go back one more block, I think. Yeah. Okay, I'm going to build it there, then. I'm going to build it there, and then, obviously, we'll have to be careful about this corner as well, because obviously, if we put him all the way back there, his range is going to be severely lowered. We want to kind of go by the corner, I think. So if we put him a little bit further, this is going to be a weird shape. It's going to be less of a kill box, more of a kill trapezoid at the rate of going here. So let's go for something along the lines of, to be honest, the secondary wall is in a pretty good position, so I'm thinking we just pull back this back wall and connect it on. So do something like that and just connect it straight over. That way we're getting a lot more of a range to us, but obviously where we changed the entrance from this area to this area, it's made this area far less effective. It's made the north of the kill box far less effective. So maybe just put that wall in for the time being, and then when we get some larger weaponry like the LMGs and the charged rifles, we can expand it again. But for the time being, where we're running on mostly charged SMGs, I don't want our people to be out of range. That's not good, but we do want to get the most effective range possible, and this is exactly what this is going to give us. So let's remove this trench then. Let's, so this isn't going to interrupt our regular kill box at all. Then we'll build this up a little bit. Obviously, we do need to leave a bit of gap in the wall there so our people can get through while we rearrange this. It'll be after the next raid. That's when the majority of our building gets done. Outlanders, not too bad. I mean, equally as strong as the pirates, I think we can say. Turning up with a lot of cleavers, which is a bit worrying. They've got a lot of melee weapons, kind of garbage weapons there as well. Muskets, we're looking at low bolt action rifles, I mean, hand cannons? Okay, some guys turn up with a pickaxe, some brave soul. That's fine. This doesn't look too difficult at all. Obviously, no rocket launchers this time around, so slightly easier than the pirate raid. They've also turned up with a random tier 1 android, sorry. Okay, I wouldn't be surprised if the pirate raids died on all of our traps trying to get through the kill box. I think these guys will as well. I should say raid rather than kill box. I need to get them to my head. Okay, we will get everyone into defensive positions, though, just for their own safety at this point. To be honest, we might be getting to the stage where we can leave them working for a little bit. Let's wait and see how this goes. They've got a lot of personal shields. I don't know if that will affect the traps at all. 35 of them left. Yeah, they're fleeing. They're fleeing. Incredible. Oh, that worked out so well. Despite the fact that they sort of died halfway through the kill box and now they're smashed down on the bloody doors. But besides that, that's fine. Wow. I might also want to think about cranking up the raid difficulty in that case. I will leave that up to you guys. Granted, we cranked up the raid difficulty relative to the amount of time that we gave ourselves. But I mean, these guys are just getting ripped apart by our extremely long maze. Going too fast. We just had old age and advanced replacement internals almost instantly there. This is unreal. Now, one thing I am having to do, we ran out of meals much, much, much quicker than I expected. So I'm putting down a new stove. We've got plenty of meat, though, because of the bloody panthers that we've had turned up. I'm going to put down a new stove. Oh, my God, we're still out of power, huh? Yikes. I guess this lab expansion was a little bit too... Let's disable the Rimatomics research bench for the timing. Let's also disable this crematorium. That's not really relevant unless we are... And let's also take away the bloody electric stone cuts. We're not going to be using that for a while either. Wow. I guess the new turret demand has put too much on the grid. So how much are they taking? 250 watts a piece. Yeah, I mean, that's understandable, really. We've added an extra 650 watts to the grid just by upgrading some of our turrets. We've got to be very careful about how we manage this going forward. We definitely can't afford to take out this geothermal generator at all. These sound extremely useful for the whole rocket launcher thing. Swarm mortar shells causing small capsules filled with hunter-seeker drones. And the K9 unit. Oh, we've unlocked the K9 unit as well. But this is important. I thought that the mortar shells were filled with dogs, which is, if anyone's looking for a mod idea, there you go. You can have that one for free. So this sounds like it could be exactly the anti-rocket launcher weapon we were looking for. I imagine they're probably fairly expensive. Let's take a look here. Do we even build it out this one? I imagine it'll be the fabrication bench rather than this. Swarm shell. There we are. Oh, that's it. Micro scythers, little drones that are instructed to seek out nearby targets and kill them. Make them for me. These sound fantastic. Always make sure we've got X in stock, and then we could have 0 coming in using the mortar or something like that. 10? I think that's fair. Yeah, let's make sure we've always got 10 in stock. Advanced bed integration. We can actually plug their beds into the network as well. That's insane. We do need to take a look at that. So the Killbox upgrading is almost there and ready to go. I'm trying to get a bit more of the actual infrastructure ready to go. So trying to get these crematoriums down here as well. And the bedroom. The bedroom is taking up a lot of our guys' time, I will admit. Do the bedroom for 5, so we stopped murdering our people. He's getting some silver tiles, so we really can't complain at this stage. What other furniture have we got for him? What luxury have we got here? Honestly, not a lot. Ergonomic double bed. Perfect. Okay. Build it out of the finest plasteel. Oh, yikes. I mean, I want him to be... I want him to have luxury here, but that is... Oh, royal poster double bed. Hang on. Whoa. Which would be better for him? Let's take a look here. Does it say comfort? 1.05. What about the royal poster bed? What does that give us? Comfort of 0.95. It is not as good. I imagine it's got a higher beauty bonus, but it's nowhere near as good as the plasteel ergonomic bed. 95 on that one. And then this one's got 4. He doesn't really need a bed. Let's be frank here. He doesn't really need a bed. Eventually, we're going to just plug him into the network. He just needs a nice bedroom. So the bed itself is fairly irrelevant. We just want it to be beauty value, because comfort is going to be pointless when we just plug him into the network, right? If only we had enough jade. My God. Let's go for a marble royal poster bed. You're welcome. Put that one right there. Let's go for a lovely royal end table as well. Golden marble. What more could he need at this stage? There we go, the first of the rooms that we have now moved into the mountain, or more specifically sort of created a deconstruction room there, is gone. Fantastic. So next step is obviously moving the food and whatnot up into the main base, at least just temporarily until we can deal with this power issue. I want to make room for Rimmerfella. That's why I'm doing this. That's why I'm being very careful about what we're expanding, what we're taking out here, make sure everything's in place before we just dive straight into it. The last thing we want is to have no power in this base. So, how the hell do we do this then? Deep oil well. Requires a ground radar. Right, great idea. How do we build a ground radar then? Resource control. Am I blind? Crude oil storage sounds obviously very useful as well. Radar? Maybe we just build a resource controller, then maybe that will help us find some oil. Fingers crossed. I'm going to put it in this room as well. Actually, no, maybe we should build it into the base. I assume we can connect it all up to the same network without having to... Maybe this can be our oil room, seeing as it's already here, and it'd be a shame to take it apart, given how much effort we put into it. This can be our oil room, then. Fuck it. There you go. Oh, no. It's confusing. I hate it. This is going to take a little bit of learning, I think. I was kind of hoping we could just put it down, pump some oil, and be rich Texas oil barons, but apparently not. Radar. I genuinely can't say it. Maybe it's on a different menu. That would make a lot more sense. Let's take a look around and see if I can dig this up. Maybe, honestly, maybe like a mineral scanner, a ground penetrating scanner, that might make sense. Requires a huge amount of electricity. We don't have that. We don't have that right now. I think I need to do some research rather than just diving in blind into Rimmerfella, huh? Maybe we should, for the time being, just rely on some other, more simplistic research before we overcomplicate things massively. A few more solar panels wouldn't hurt. To be honest, we've just got too much of a power drain right now. We're using a lot of it on... resources. Let's get rid of the prison. We're not using that either. We're not going to take any prisons anymore. Well, we might, because we want to obviously make the Gigantamax brain at some stage, whatever the hell it's called. Where can we save some electricity? I mean, nowhere, really. We could turn this thing off, I guess. I don't understand how we've got such a major drain on the grid. Given the amount of solar panels we've got 2 geothermal generators, we've got the wind turbine going as well. It just seems pretty nuts. The infrastructure's in place now to be able to fully rip apart this Killbox. We've got all of our smelting rooms, our cremation rooms, whatever else. We've got a little bit of extra space as well there. So now we can really start working on this. We also have some swarm shells, so at least we've got something fairly dynamic out of this. Let's get, where's Zero? Zero, man this steel mortar. Get yourself some swarm shells. Let's see what damage we can do. What are we up against exactly? Oh, wow, okay. Pirates. They've got to be pirates, right? Oh, Outlanders. Okay, fair enough. No rocket weaponry, but... I'm really interested to see what these swarm bots do. They just seem incredible. My God, these are all the corpses from so long ago. How are they not just losing their mind the second they step onto this map? You guys don't have much problems with that. Observe rotting corpse. Just one. Observe just one rotting corpse. Sorry, have you seen these kill fields? Right, Zero. Let's see what you can do with these swarm shells. I'm really excited to see how these work. Oh, what a hit. Okay, what does that do? Micro scythers. Oh my God, it actually does just launch a bunch of little scythers at them. That's incredible. That's so good. It might not work too effective against... What we might want to do, actually, the best method I could think of for using that is, as a way to stop rocket launchers and things like that, is to fire it not directly at the targets, fire it near them, so that they're tempted to fire their rocket launcher to try and kill the scythers. This could be what we were looking for, a resolution to that. Holy shit, that seems cool, though. These seem very fun, and they're obviously kind of cheap as well. They didn't do much damage, I will admit, but can we, like, dismantle them for components or something like that? I have no idea. Wow, that's really, really cool, though. He's firing again. I'll let him have another fire, because this is like the maiden voyage of our swarm shells. There it goes. Ooh, that's a bad miss. Oh, they're all trapped in the wall. That's a real shame. Okay, they look like they actually might get through this time. That barbed wire does do a lot of damage. No, I was really underestimating it. Granted, it's 100 steel, or sorry, 10 steel per go, so like 100 steel per raid in terms of just barbed wire. But it seems to do more damage than the bear traps. I guess they can't really avoid it, just like bleeding damage and things like that. They're actually going to get through this time, aren't they? Okay, that's, I mean, I guess kind of good news. You could probably stop firing, although we'll fire him to Killbox. Why not? Where is everybody? Is that everyone? Excuse me? No, Repairbot 3 and Smeltbot decided to take up defensive positions in the middle of fucking nowhere. Great. Okay, you need to get into a better position as well, because that's ridiculous. Let's bring you round. I need to deal with this slag at some stage also. Right, there we go. Weapons? I think we should probably equip weapons. Maybe we'll also be able to see if we're lucky. Oh, we fired them out. Oh, not outside. God damn. Hopefully we'll be able to see what this charged railgun does. So let's take a look at this, guys. Keep a very close eye on it. Nothing. Oh, there we go. Oh, it's a little disappointing, actually. Maybe it just fires two extremely high velocity, extremely high damaging shots. So against armored enemies, it would be incredibly lethal. But against regular, against like big, I mean, like tribal, for example, it's probably just going to be wasting its time. And it seems like it uses 6 component durability per shot. My god. Okay, everybody get to work. We've got the micro scythe that's still chasing down as they're running away. That's extremely war crimes. Power armor. Yeah, there we go. Okay, get us stripped as soon as possible. Get that to the base. Very nice. So anyone else survived? They have. We could try and take some prisoners so that we can work on the brain melding. Bleeding out in 8 hours. These are the guys that obviously got cooked by the turrets more than anything else. Fame, we've got Furco, Ektek, and my good friend Hercules. Brilliant. Let's get them into the prison then, the extremely dark and dingy prison. Builderbot, capture Hercules. Who else have we got nearby? Repairbot 2, capture Furco. Smeltbot 2, capture the other person. Faye, there we are. What about you? Bleeding out in 2 hours because you just got shot. Also bleeding out in 2 hours. We do have a couple of other survivors. 0.8. We're not going to get to you in time. I don't think there's even much point trying to capture these guys. By the time we get them through and back to the base, they're going to be dead before then. Chances are a lot of these guys are going to die, to be honest with you. Get 5 over there. And then let's just have him patch them up. Because he's going to be able to get there in a quick time. And he's also going to be able to patch them up very quickly as well. But he's in such a high mood. Oh my god, can he just go on mental breakdowns whenever the fuck he feels like it then? Oh, shit. So it's not a case of mood management. I just built in that bedroom for the fun of it then, essentially. It's actually a case of this guy just... Oh, not Repairbot 2. Fuck. We need to lock this guy up. We just need to lock him in a lab and never look at him. He's too dangerous to be left alive. By that, I mean, obviously left outside. Thanks, Mace Windu. Neutronium synthesizing. Terrible news. Just what we didn't need. Get up. Come on. 15 more hours. And then we've got a decent Killbox expansion there. I still like those. I think the biggest gain of today has absolutely been their swarm shells. They seem like they might be the ultimate anti-rocket defense there. Look at that. There we go. Finally, we're basically done with things. Okay, good news. So that's the Killbox expanding quite nicely. We do need to get some more trenches dug and everything else sort of set up. We need to obviously do a little bit of tidying up as well because it's kind of a bit of a state. We've got a lot more room for turrets now if we feel like it. More importantly, we've got a lot more turrets for a lot more room for our people. So let's get these trenches dug kind of as and where is appropriate. Also need to kind of clog up that massive hole we've got right there, Chief. So you're going to be running basically straight across. Gives us quite a nice shooting gallery. Gives us a good amount of range as well. This is nice. I think this has been a nice little bonus. So then, let's leave things there for today. Wave 100 is coming in 0 hours. Any second now. The defenses are more or less built. Unfortunately, you couldn't reinstall those autocannons. We're just waiting on someone to quickly finish building that one. Should get it done before the raid turns up. Everybody seems in good hands. Obviously, we've got the prison move there. Let me just double check. Everything is good. So they're going to run up through here. Obviously, get gunned down as they're running across here. Then get gunned down as they run back. That's assuming they even get past these, even if they get past these barbed wires. Yeah, I mean, this is great. We've got 10 swarm shells ready to go. We've got a little crematorium dismantling burning area here for anybody who dies in the Killbox. A lot more power. Put down 3 more solar panels there as well. So we should be able to definitely stay afloat. Not much progress on the base. Granted, we did waste a lot of time and effort on this because I thought we'd keep 5 happy. Turns out 5 is never happy. 5 will always murder. Such is 5. How annoying. Thank you all for watching, though. This has been good progress today, I think. We've still got a lot of those other things to work towards. I'm going to go and have to take a look at a Rimmerfeller guard or something like that, understand how it works before we dive into it, because it's not something I think we can go into blind. Again, I understand Rim Atomics, which is why I was going for that one, but that does take a long time before you get a decent grid set up and running and ready to go. It's quite component heavy, quite steel, plasteel. I mean, there's a lot of resources going into it, so that we will do as soon as possible. But in the meantime, maybe Rimmerfeller will be a nice stopgap. Thank you to the patrons for making the series possible, including Alchemia, Anthony Gulli, Asuna Kirito, Upmosis, Average Gamer 419, Bacon Kitten, Ben Hofflin, Chesty, Croesus, Donald, Doolin of Gondolin, Fakuna Vasquez, Frederick, Gogolus, Harik, Harry McGowan, Iguana Squad, James Shea, Jonah Waters, Justin Wallace, Caden Carter, Michael Mullen, Muskratful, Norstress, Necrophilim, Pelvis Presley, Rodin, Scott, Skaz, Smegmastain, Somnus, Shay, T-Bag Cruz, The One Ring, Tom Terry 18, Tyler Kendall, Tyler McClam, Vacuous Backers, Varagon, William Green, and Zazzy7011. Thank you all for your support at the insane tier levels on Patreon. Thank you for making the channel possible in the first place. Much appreciated, everyone. Big shout out to these guys. And a thank you as well, and of course an equally big shout out to the other patrons, including Uwu Daddy, Asro, Adam Person, Andrew Walsh, Andrew Wilson, Anchor, Attila, Austin Taylor, Betimus Max, Better Valerian, Black Double H, Blood for the Blood God, Bwayne Gunn, Chris, Corgi Circus, Dapper Go, David Van Diepen, Daniel Pete, Don, Connie217, Emerald Beam, Foosh, Gabriel Van Ders, Gaz, Genji Circa, Gothamo, Grey, Haji Dumar, I Am Sagataire, Irotha, Icy the Great, Jackson P, Jay Lara, Jacob Wolfie, Jason Sushu, Jose, Jubas Crust, Duran DeVries, Jessica Smith, Job's Lucky Sister, Jelly Vondel, Joseph Beer, Justin Plock, Justin Rules, Justin Walters, Llewellyn Thomas, Luke Wallace, Manuel Bosic, Mustolp, Monty, Mosi Sampson, My Name Isn't Dio, Nathan Flores, Nathaniel Lundberg, Nick, Noah Gallimore, Organised Confusion, Pan Sammy, Pantherpearl, Peyton Denisar, Russian Oligarch Billionaire, Ryan Hooper, Sam Keir, Shardul, Shari, Smirtworm, Smooth Octopus, Socrates, Super Nanny 089, Sweet Tea, Talar, Voodoo Mumbo, Void Prince Kibo, Will Wade, Wilson Atef, Wolfie, Yellow 4, Yorker, Zach, Zetlock, and Zico 2. Thank you guys all for your support over at Patreon. See you guys tomorrow for the 100th wave.